It is 6:32 on Tuesday, May 27th, and this meeting of the Dallas Area Rapid Transit Board of Directors is in session. Our first order of business is the approval of the minutes from our prior meeting. Are there any objections, corrections, additions, or changes of any sort that anybody would like to make? The minutes are ordered, entered into the records as prepared. The next order of business is the public comments, and our vice chair, Ms. Wilkins, will read the public address notification.
Okay, public comments. General public comments will be allowed at the beginning of each dartboard meeting for a total of 30 minutes, and again at the end of the meeting when the 30-minute period does not accommodate all persons who have signed up to speak. Individuals who have addressed the board in the past 30 days will be recognized to speak during the public comment period at the end of the meeting. During the public comment period, board members may not interact with the speakers or other board members by asking questions or offering their own comments. Members of the public are reminded that their behavior during DART board meetings is governed by the DART board Code of Conduct for citizens, news media, and visitors. Personal attacks, impertinent or slanderous remarks, and boisterous conduct will not be allowed. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board. The green light on the podium will indicate when you can begin speaking. The yellow light indicates that you have 1 minute remaining, and the red light indicates that your time has expired.
Our first speaker is Mr. James Harris, and he is followed by Mr. Samuel Lucio. After Mr. Harris, sir. Yes, you. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is James Harris. My home address is 5606 Shady Crest Trail in Dallas, Texas, 75241. I'm here tonight. I don't like to keep coming here about the defined benefit program, but about 18 years ago, when I first became a member of the Defined Benefit Retirement Committee, they had 15-minute meetings and no expense reports or anything of that nature. And it appears that the Defined Benefit Committee is trying to go back to that. They act as if the 2 participants that are in the plan has no say-so whatsoever. And everything I say, give them a little advice on. This morning it said that they were looking for, they're doing an RFP. The committee has always done the RFP. The CFO says, no, the committee doesn't do that. That's in the finance department. I've always been on an RFP for a trust company. I went to Boston when we hired State Street. I also went to Tennessee. The retirement committee have had Northern Trust before. It was stated this morning that they'd never had it before, but I do know for a fact that Northern Trust was. Now, I don't understand where the committee is going to think that they have so much power from the administrative side that nothing that is done when the retirement committee makes a decision. It's only the administrative side that makes all the decisions, and that's wrong. Now, I understand you're under investigation now, but if this keeps going on, I'm going to ask for an investigation of the Defined Benefit Retirement Committee because it's just wrong. This is not DART's money. Once you put money into the Defined Benefit Retirement Program, that money belongs to the plan and the participants. It's not DART's money. DART is the administrator of the plan. It is not DART's money, and I want that to be understood. The CFO made a statement that before he even got on the committee, that didn't need 7 people to go on a due diligence trip. There's never been 7 people to go, and it's only 5 people on the committee. Now, when I went to Boston, yeah, it was about 7 people, but there was 2 or 3 people from HR that went alone. I don't know where all this is going, but I understand that they sent the treasurer on a due diligence trip. He wasn't on the committee at that time. They sent the secretary on the due diligence trip. She wasn't on the committee, so she didn't have a right. But if this is going to keep going, I'm going to ask for an investigation myself. Thank you.
Harris. The next speaker is Mr. Samuel Lucio. Following Mr. Lucio is Tosha Saldos.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
My name is Samuel A. Lucio Jr. I was on the 164 to downtown. I was at the corner of Elm Street and Elm. Bus driver put all kinds of belts on my whole chair. I said, brother, did you take the belts off my chair, brother? He said, yes. Well, he left one in between the seat and it broke my chair, the latch on my chair. I've been owning the chair for 6 years. I'm disabled. I can't walk. I live by myself. I don't want to fight nobody. And then there's this one guy, looks like a bulldog. He waves his finger at me, tells me, I don't know, he don't tell me, he just waves his finger at me. He looks like a bulldog, about 300-pound weight guy. And then he just leaves me. 164 to downtown. I don't want no trouble with nobody. I don't have anybody.
Sir, you're speaking.
I live by myself and I don't have
no,
nobody.
it's the microphone.
I don't want trouble with nobody. I just want to get to where I'm going.
Sir, if you would just,
I have right here. I have all the information right here.
yes, when you're up real close to the microphone, we can't hear you.
Put all kinds of belts on my seat, and then I said, brother, did you take the belts off my seat? He said, yes. Well, he left it in between and broke it. That's why I have the board on my chair now. I tell him, brother, did you take the belts off my chair? He said, yes. Broke the latch on the chair, and I've been on the chair for 6 years. And this was just like last couple weeks ago. He said I talked too loud. I'm sure he heard me. I said, brother, did you take the belts off my seat? He said, yes. And he broke the latch on my chair, and now the seat's broke. I have to have a board on it. And then this guy that looks like a bulldog waves his finger at me, and he goes, I swear to God, I don't know, I really don't know who the guy is. I'm from San Angelo, Texas. I used to be a homeless. I don't want no trouble with nobody. All I want to do is get to where I'm going. I don't want no trouble. I live by myself. I don't have anybody. I got the reports in my hand right here. I got the paper. I got it all written down. And that guy looks like a bulldog. He weighs about 300 pounds. I just weigh 170 pounds all I weigh.
Mr. Lucio,
He's bullying up on me.
would you please talk with Mr. Doug Douglas?
Okay, can I talk to somebody, please?
Yes, if you would speak with Mr. Doug Douglas, please.
I want to make a report. This guy, well, I'll meet with him if he wants me to.
He's right there.
Bulldog.
Mr. Lucio, Mr. Douglas is coming,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
he's coming from your left.
You have everything? I got it already down. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Tosha Salters. If I didn't get that name right, my apologies.
Tasha?
Tasha? Tasha Salters? The next speaker is Mr. Kenneth Newton, followed by Simona LaFlora.
All right. Oh, can you hear me? All right. Kenneth Newton, 8634 Vista Grand Drive, Dallas, Texas. I'm here about your power transit, please. Anytime my pickup times are changed. I am supposed to get a call from DART letting me know this. This is not coming from me. This is coming from the FTA and Department of Transportation. Also, your paratransit, according to the FTA, they are supposed to have enough vehicles to pick up 100% of their passengers during their five, whatever they're running, okay? Also, anytime I call, they're putting me on hold. I like that new system you got, all right? We hold please for 3 seconds. Number of people in front of you, 0. All that is so you're not counted for that whole time. If anybody wants to see this, any of it, I got any paper you want. And this thing with the paratransit, everybody in the United States is doing it. You're making trips. You're allowed to be on that bus 90 minutes, and the government gives you an extra 10 to 15 minutes. You got an hour and 45 minutes. You're not supposed to be on that bus 2 to 3 hours because they have a law that will kick in for that. There's only one thing that they let you go. If you have ice or Mother Nature, that's it. If you have a traffic jam, they'll let it go twice. That third time is up to the carrier to avoid that. And like I said, if you don't believe, please, I don't know what rules you're going by, but you better get with it because the FDA and the DOT are looking at this, all right? And people don't believe me. The government will come in here and shut this place down. Ask MV what happened in Maine. The National Guard had to come in and run that until the government found somebody, because I told you about it. Look at your service right now, okay? It's terrible. In my hometown, New York City, they're doing the same thing. They're giving people free rides on the subway and train, trying to push and chase people back to the train. A hard certification, recertification. I got injured right here for recertification back in August. I told them I couldn't get in that cab. They made me I hurt my groin again. If you're going to have a vehicle assessment, you're supposed to have that train there, you're supposed to have a city bus, you're supposed to have the paratransit vehicles, not just the taxi cab, okay? That's it, please, because I don't need to have any more seizures.
Our next speaker is Ms. Simona LaFlora.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Simona LaFlora. I'm a 5-year employee with DART. I've been given a written warning and safety violation for 1 year for reviewing a pocket schedule that is provided by DART and is required to have on me as part of my uniform and equipment necessary for me to carry out my job duties. DART instructors train employees to read this schedule when necessary. In fact, before the new trapeze system was installed, we were required to use the pocket schedule on a consistent basis to check our time points. This was necessary to read at all times because, as you know, that is the basis of our job, time. DART also provided employees with the turn-by-turn route manuals, which management was fully aware that we were using while in operation. Board members, there has been no modification period given to the drivers that has allowed drivers enough time to deactivate their mindset on what some drivers have been practicing for more than 30 years. In other words, this has been embedded in our minds because that is what we were trained to do. Another reason why these safety violations should be invalid is because of equipment malfunction, which management is fully aware of. They are fully aware of that. If this DART board allows this incident to stand as a safety violation, this will be a double standard that will allow management to abuse its employees and make significant threats, which will result in a stressful work environment and possibly termination of qualified drivers who have been multitasking for a number of years without high accident rate. Board members, this smart drive has made me, as a professional bus operator, feel intimidated and harassed as I perform my day-to-day operations. It has made me feel like I'm walking around on eggshells and that all of my professional training is obsolete. You are profiling and watching us on this camera, and it was not introduced as a tool to monitor our driving habits. In closing, why are the bus operators constantly the subject of workplace profiling? We perceive this action as work harassment due to we are the only department within DART who has been consistently scrutinized on our job performance while being monitored by cameras. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and we take your comments seriously, and we will look into them. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Ms. Patricia Vaga.
Good evening, board
Vega?
meeting.
My apologies.
Patricia Vega, and I work out of South Cliff with some of my coworkers, and I was charged also for the same thing. It's like my coworker said, you need to give us chance to adjust. These loops, you gave me these loops. I'm a professional bus operator. And that warning they gave me, they made me look like a reckless driver. That's not me. Please, give us chance to adjust. Thank you.
Thank you as well for coming. Are there any other public speakers? There are no further cards. Our next order of business is our Citizen Advisory Committee report. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Phyllis Silver, and I'm the current chair of the DART Citizen Advisory Committee. And I'd like to present the report on the meeting of May 15th, our last meeting. Chad Edwards gave us an informative presentation. He spoke about the North Central Texas Council of Governments, where he served for 15 years. Also, he provided information about capital planning at DART, as Mr. Edwards recently joined DART as Assistant Vice President of Capital Planning. Mr. Edwards shared with us the Council of Governments demographic data showing regional development patterns from 1940 to 2009. Projects and goals of the current Metropolitan Transportation Plan, which is Mobility 2035, were discussed. On the subject of DART's capital planning, Mr. Edwards talked about federal legislative issues such as the current transportation bill, which is MAP 21, which will be expiring this year. We learned about statewide projects, including high-speed rail, and locally, the second light rail alignment is on the radar to free up capacity and improve headways. And on the red and blue DART lines, platform modifications are planned to accommodate longer trains. During our business meeting, several committee members expressed their concern and requested that I inform you, the DART board members, that some bus operators are taking off too quickly when riders, including those with disabilities, board the buses. These operators do not give passengers an opportunity to be seated, and this can lead to injuries. A committee member noted that the new Yield to Wheels marketing piece that asks that consideration be given to riders with disabilities on trains. And similarly, we are asking for sensitivity toward riders who can be adversely affected by quick starts on buses. Now, the next piece I had was we were planning on a tour of the new DFW airport station, but I just learned today that will have to be delayed. And instead, we're looking forward to Gary Huffstetler, Project Manager of Service Planning, giving us a briefing on ridership. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Silver. We have four agenda items. Ms. Gates, are you here? Kay, can you take
4, 5, and 6.
4, 5, 6, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item number 4 is the site-specific shuttle service agreement with Texas Instruments. It's been approved through the Committee of the Whole, and I make a motion that we approve this item.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify so by saying yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, please say no. Motion carries.
Item number 5. Dallas to Valwood Improvement Authority and DART for construction, operation, and maintenance of a corridor and an ILA between DART and Valwood for construction and funding of railroad bridge on the Madill Railroad corridor. This item was also discussed in Committee of the Whole. It was approved unanimously, and I make a motion that the item is approved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify so by saying yes.
Yes.
All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
And all those opposed signify by saying no. Motion carries. Next item.
Okay, item number 6 is to declare public necessity, establish just compensation, and authorize the acquisition of easements for parcels SOC 310, 14.5, 14.7, located in Dallas, Texas, for the South Oak Cliff Line, Section 3. This item was discussed and approved unanimously in Committee of the Whole, and I make a motion that it's approved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify so by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please signify so by saying no.
No.
Motion carries. Our next item is from Mr. Adams' committee, executive compensation.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Item 7, adoption of fiscal year 2014 goals and performance measures for the Executive Director and President was unanimously approved by the Executive Compensation Committee and the Committee of the Whole, and I move that we adopt it.
All those in favor of adopting these goals and performance measures for FY 2014, please signify so by saying yes.
Yes.
All those opposed signify so by saying no. Motion carries. There are no further agenda items. There are no further public comments, and this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer. We love comments. If you don't like the way DART is handling things, lay it out for everyone to see. If you like or hate this video, tell us. If you'd like to see more videos like this one, tell us. We even love it when you call. Better yet, like or follow us on Facebook or subscribe to us on YouTube and get instant notices of all our videos the moment they are posted.